So just a little update about what's kind of been going on. I got semi kind of answers because I was admitted to the hospital last week because of seizures that would not stop and I was not able to come out of them. 911 was called and I was admitted to the hospital with some testing. I saw a neurologist while I was there, and she's thinking that it's something called psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. It's basically seizure-like activity that's not like epilepsy. So it's not my actual like brain activity is fine. It's like a disconnect between the brain and the body. There's many different reasons why this could happen. We don't know if it was caused from the fall. Was it stress or anxiety? Was it some medication that I was on that had already stopped? Could have been a combination of everything. She didn't really give me answers on how to make them stop because medication does not work for non-epileptic seizures. So it's going to be still a long journey to figure out what's going on. The only issue is the doctors seem very dismissive of them. I mean, I'm hoping that they just go away, but that's pretty much what they said. Follow up with your doctors. My neurologist won't see me until January, so that's not very helpful. My primary, I have an appointment with them next week. I told them, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll see you next week. And I was like, okay, so I'm still having seizure-like activity. They're like, oh, really? Like, it was like a surprise. I was just like, yeah, like they haven't stopped. They're like, well, stop your medication. And I was like, well, I've already stopped this medication. I've almost for a week now. And they're like, oh, well, we'll see you next week. So I feel very dismissed on what I'm feeling because what I'm feeling is very, very real. It's very, very painful, actually. Like, my body is really sore from these episodes. And I feel like they just, because it's not epilepsy, that they think that it's just gonna resolve on its own. From what I've been looking up, it's a lot more needing for the official diagnosis, a little bit more testing, longer EEG, and I'm basically getting more information from the internet than the actual doctors. And so that's very frustrating because I still need to be able to drive. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive. The nurses and the doctors were very dismissive while I was in the ER and the hospital. I would have episodes and they wouldn't even come sometimes, even though we would call them on the button. My mom would have to have yelled outside. Even my roomie, she even pushed her button saying the person next to me is having a seizure, but they completely ignored whenever we called. And when they did come, they were just like, oh yeah, she's fine now. But it's just like, it's just very, very hard. That's really the only update. No answers besides that they're non-epileptic seizures, most likely. The treatment for that is different because it is not controlled with medication. There's a lot of like different kinds of therapies and what was I gonna say? Just different. There's a different treatment plan that takes a little bit longer to resolve. Some people resolve right away. Some people it will take a lot longer. But because of those doctors here, that I won't even see a neurologist until January. Nobody has given me any answers on what do I do to stop these things. When am I able to go back to work? When am I going to be able to drive? Like I said, no big answers. And I just hope to get better. Like, I'm not having as many, but they're very painful. They're very tiring. I pretty much have to sleep. I can't be out more than a few hours, even a couple hours really. I'm very, very weak. I get very tired when I walk around. I'm very like kind of shaky sometimes. I still get dizzy and I still get headaches. And that's about it. I don't know if I'll be able to go back to work soon. I'm hoping I can. But I can feel them coming on, so at least I know when to get to a safe place. But working in a big kitchen, I don't want to be by the stove and then having to go and find a chair to go sit on, that's soft, and making sure I don't hurt myself. That's the most important thing, is making sure I can get myself to a safe place where there's no pillows, there's no hard surfaces, so I don't hurt myself, because I could just fall and collapse if I don't catch it in time. I could, I can't control my body. So if there's pillows around, my face can go into the pillows, and it's hard for me to breathe during these episodes. But yeah, I think the most upsetting about all of this is not so much the diagnosis, but just the doctors. I've been to the ER 4 different times, 3 different hospitals. I've been admitted, and still nothing. I just want to get back to my normal. I just want to get back. Be able to go downstairs by myself without the fear of me falling or getting too dizzy. I want to be able to go to work and make my food and share my food. I want to be able to go on a simple walk. I want to be able to drive and see my daughters dance. Yeah, that's the update. Thank you.